How are we all, people? Welcome back to the show. Literally just about to finish in coming into a stoppage time at Shite Hart Lane. It is 2-2, and Manchester United are copying Arsenal when it comes to throwing Leeds away. Oh my God, I thought it was dead and buried at 2-0. Tottenham have somehow, I say Tottenham, Harry Kane basically has dragged them through yet again with a great pass to Son, and it's 2-2 as we speak, 90 minutes 4 of injury time. Hope you're all well. Big up Dave, big up Lawless, big up Billy, big up Joe, big up Emilio, and someone else has joined.
What's going on? What's going on?
D, how are you?
Yeah.
How are you, D?
Great.
Are you good?
Great. Yeah, how you doing?
Good.
You right?
What is in that liquid? What container is holding that liquid? Can you tell me?
Oh, it's Arsenal tears.
This guy is...
Hey, salty but delicious. How you doing, Potts? You alright?
I'm alright, bro. I'm alright.
You looked a bit annoyed yesterday. I'll be honest. I saw you in the watch along. You was looking at your phone, putting it down. Look at your phone, putting it down. What was you thinking of?
I was just thinking how much.
Remember the messages?
I was just thinking how much chest that City fan D has got. Do you know what I mean? That's what I was thinking. You must be a Man City fan. I mean, the amount of chest you got, you must support Man City, bro. I mean, you must be a Man City fan. You can't support a crap side like Palace. You must be a Man City fan.
Trust me, I don't support bottlers because you're the biggest bottlers in the whole of UK. And it's been happening for years. It's been happening for years. We got the stats. We saw the stats. Also, the you bottled the league 3 times. 3 times in the past, including this year. I mean, you're not special.
Do you know what? I hate Spurs, yeah, but we got to change the Spursy thing to RC because when I see that table, like you've bottled more leagues than anyone. Look at it. Yeah, that's it. Get that bottle down.
Yeah.
How can you say that Spurs don't deserve to be called Spursy after the season they've had?
No, they do, but you've probably got the title for the biggest bottlers, like the record. You broke the record, like
Arsenal do. Two years in a row. 2 years in a row. Last year top 4 around this period, and this year the title. I guess it's an improvement, but it's still bottling. And I can't believe it. Southampton. How on earth do you go concede 3 goals against Southampton? Yesterday, you didn't play like league, like you played absolutely awful. You played like the old Arsenal. There's no way on earth you will win the league playing like that. City schools you lot. And they didn't score Palace. I can't remember them scoring in West Ham or any other team here like that.
Oh, listen to this. He's going trying to get Lawless involved to stick up for him now.
I love how we've straight into this. No introductions. We've just got straight into it, and it's good to see everyone. It's been a while, but you know, it's like they say, some people you only see at funerals, isn't it? And obviously, this is a funeral. Arsenal's title.
Always try to be humble, asking us who's gonna win the league, who's gonna win the league. When you need an answer, you just wanted us to say Arsenal all along. And here we are. Are you gonna ask us against Potts?
Why don't you ask us again?
Yeah, why not asking us now? Who's going to win the league?
It's done. What's the point? It's not a question anymore.
I've got a question for you. I've got a question I want to ask you.
Do I want to answer it, though?
Yeah, well, let's see. How easy is that? How easy? That's how easy.
Come on, Ramsdale. You need to do better. You need to do better, Ramsdale. Come on.
Hold in.
Stop it. Hold in. Stop it.
It's so easy.
It's fine.
Seems like new alliances are being forged here. Imagine these two have been trying to kill each other for about the last 9 months, and now they're all better friends, aren't they? Over the sake of one bottle.
We have to unite in big causes.
Listen, I don't know how you lot are letting him get away with it. Yeah, he's been lording it over you lot with this fake humbleness, looking down on everyone, like, oh, look at me, I'm top of the league.
This is a London thing, man. This is a
Thank you, Joe.
Emilio's London. Not about Emilio. Let him out.
Emilio doesn't do any of that. He gets upset about Napoli more than
Apart from
Fulham.
Brighton.
Yeah, tell me about it.
Apart from Brighton,
Emilio right now would be absolutely annoyed. Emilio hates Brighton. That's what I love about Emilio. He absolutely hates Brighton, but not us.
Those guys kissed and made up. You know, the ones who gave me a bollock and blocked me on WhatsApp. They've now kissed and made up.
Well, you like
Emilio's all right with him now.
Yeah, they kissed and made up.
But it's and honestly, Poch, jokes aside, it's fine, man. It's fine. It happens to all of us.
Well,
Isn't it mad that our Arsenal are still first in the league, and yet West Ham and Palace fans are happier than Arsenal fans? It's mental. They're gonna if Arsenal finish second, Palace and West Ham fans and Spurs fans who could finish 8th, 9th, whatever, they're going to be happier than Arsenal fans finishing second. It's mad.
That's what happens when you bottle it, though. That's bottling, mate. And that's the pain. And the thing is, I told you, Potts, after our game, I said, we've done this to you. We've cost you the league. West Ham have had a say in it, and you didn't want to hear it. No. How can you say that? And now you're looking back on it, and you're going, wow, well, we bottled a 2-0 lead at West Ham. Boy, if you would have won that game, Potts.
Southampton, all due respect, Southampton. It's harder to not lose against. How did you concede 3 goals against Southampton? And then
you could have lost at Anfield, and beat West Ham and Southampton and lost to Man City, and it would have still been in your hands. But see your hands, your hands gone. No hands now for you.
Yep, it's done. Mate. It's done. It's fine.
You believed, didn't it? You started to sit there and go, I'll go to the parade. What will I do after the parade? I'll go to the pub, lead judges.
Shit. I never spoke about parades. What are you talking about? Bruv, I never spoke about parades. This is the problem with
you was thinking about it. You was thinking about it. You was 100% thinking about it.
Oh, Potts was thinking about parades.
What was your plans then? What did you have planned for the day then? What was you going to... How was your celebration? Come on.
I was going to the Wolves game, whatever, and I will be going to the Wolves game, whatever.
Yeah, but how was you going to celebrate the win? What was you going to do?
The same way. I'll celebrate. I'll tell you what.
Place.
I'll now celebrate the Premier League the same way that you celebrate the Conference Cup. We won't, but together we won't, right?
You better hope, right? You better hope. I said this on D's show, I said this. If we win that, we've had a better season than you.
I give over, man. No, not a chance.
Absolute crap.
Not a chance, man.
Listen, Joe.
Man. No. It's madness, man.
Joe,
Arsenal. Go on.
No, I was going to say, you're a Leeds fan. You won trophies in your day, right? You know the importance of
more than West Ham.
Well, listen, if we win a trophy...
No. You try to deflect. Let's stay on topic. He's trying to deflect onto
Joe,
mate. I guess had you still been challenging in the top half, but you're not even out of the relegation dogfight yet.
No, we're not. We're still
both Manchester clubs up next as well. Lose both of them, and you're well back in the mix.
Well, we've still got Leicester and Leeds to play,
and I've had a look at this. From the 11th to the 21st, you play 4 games. 4 games. We've got 1 a week. You've got 4 in 10 days. So I'm looking at that game at your ground, thinking they've just come from Holland 3 days before in the second leg at the away tie. That could cause issues, man.
It could cause issues, but we might be
the thing is, Lawless, I'm looking for anything to give me any sort of hope. So I see that fixture and I go, because I was going, they've got to go on a flight and that. And then I went, where's Altman? They went Holland. And I was like, oh, okay, it's not that far then. Really.
Too bad.
Regardless of what happens, what's the drinker right now? What he has in his hands, it represents Arsenal.
Absolutely. Yeah, he's trying to...
You just needed a glass. You just needed a glass stand.
I normally do have a glass.
I know.
At the end of the day, and by the way, Man United have just bottled a 2-0 lead against the shittest team in the league on.
They must be watching Arsenal.
Exactly. It's Arsenal. That's
contagious. It's Arsenal's fault. It's Arsenal's fault. Not even United's fault.
And there was me thinking this show was going to be all about Forest. Well, there you go.
Well, it's supposed to be, Dave. It's supposed to be, but these two have got to have their moment first, and then we can.
Yeah, no, that's fine, mate. That's fine.
But if we win the Conference League, right, and you finish second, no one's going to remember. Oh, remember that year when Arsenal finished second?
Second.
Remember that? Oh my God, do you remember that?
Everyone's going to remember the year that West Ham won a trophy no one cares about, aren't they?
Everyone's going to remember winning a trophy.
1965.
Yeah. Our name is on that trophy, yeah. With the
TS Munich at Wembley.
First, yeah. Listen, we've won a European trophy. This will be another one.
Yeah, granted.
And look, this is the thing, Potts. Right, first English team to ever win it. That's record. That's history making right there. Yeah. First English team to win this trophy. Second team to ever win it.
Trophy that's been going for 2 years. Fuck yeah.
Well, yeah, and history has to start somewhere. History has to start somewhere. And history starts. I can look back on something. That's it. We can look back on something physical, right? A trophy. We can look at it and remember and go, remember that when we won that back in 2023. What are you going to do? You're going to sit there and look at a plaque that goes, oh, Arsenal runners up 2022-23 season. What a memory. No one's going to remember that.
It's not even just that. The fact that they're talking about Arteta out already as well. It's all crumbling. Like it took 3-4 games. And you talk about Roy Hodgson. Hold up, Potts. You spoke about Roy Hodgson during the Wolves game. And you're like, oh, he's making lots of rotations and that. Who's got more wins since Roy Hodgson's come in? Roy Hodgson or Arteta? You tell me. Who's got more wins, Roy Hodgson or Arteta?
So your point is that Roy Hodgson should come and take over at Arsenal. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, clearly, because Arteta.
So I'll tell you what then, D. I'll tell you what then. Are you going to apologise to everybody on here for being harsh to the Palace ownership for sacking Vieira now that they got in Roy Hodgson? Can we just have it official on here? At tonight's date, that D is going to make an apology to the owners of Crystal Palace, who did the best decision ever by getting Roy Hodgson back in to save him from relegation because they were going down. Is that what you're saying, D?
No. My problem.
I just want to get it right. I just want to get it right on here on record.
Okay. Roy Hodgson coming back was a part of it. My problem with the owners started from literally January when we didn't sign enough players, or even in the summer. We just didn't spend enough. That's my problem with the owners. With the least amount of spenders, and it's just a lack of ambition. That's my problem with the owners. But with you lot, watch. Now we're going to hear about Kroenke. We're going to hear about Arteta. It's the Arsenal, baby.
Are you Arteta out again? You Arteta out again, Potts?
No, I'm not. Some people are Arteta out. Some people are Arteta out.
Are you sure?
That's mad. That's mad, by the way.
Do you trust the process now,
Potts? Questioning Arteta quite a bit.
The process is done, bruv. The process is done. We're here. We're
also, wow, the process was to bottle the league, yeah? Is that what it was? That's
that wasn't the process. The process was to put us into a title challenge and to potentially win the league. And that's the way it is. That's done now. I don't want to hear no more trust the process.
For coming second or third, depending on
process.
When was the last time Palace come second in the Premier League? I'll wait.
We didn't come second, but we came third. I think it was fourth in like the 90s.
Wait, the Premier League?
We lost out to Liverpool in European competitions. So yeah, it's not. Yeah.
So we got to go back quite a way.
Well, so-called elite club. When's the last time Arsenal won the league?
Go back quite a long way. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. When's the last time Arsenal won the league?
19 years ago, bro. This is a Palace fan laughing at me for saying Arsenal haven't won the league for 19 years. A Palace fan. It's not a City fan or a United fan. Just to let you know, that says D Palace, everyone. Don't let your eyes be tested. It says D Palace, not D Man City or D Chelsea.
All right, cool, but that's what I'm saying. You're going to deflect it. It still doesn't change the fact that with the other elite clubs in the Premier League, you're bottom. You and Tottenham are bottom. You can't compete with the likes of United, City,
Chelsea.
Since the 2000s.
How far back we going then? On recent success, you're right. In history, you're wrong. We're the third biggest team in England, mate, by history.
No. Yeah, 100%. But I'm talking about since like the 2000s.
Yeah,
United,
that's fair.
Chelsea, City,
Chelsea are
and
top.
Liverpool as well.
Man City are second.
Champions League trophy as well.
If you want to go history, you can't talk to Dave or Billy because they've got European.
I can talk to Dave or Billy. I can't talk to him about Europe.
Champions of Europe. You'll never sing that.
You'll never sing that, Potts. You'll never sing that. But you know who's going to be singing that at the end of the season? You know who's going to sing that at the end of the season? Me. I'm singing.
You're not champions of Europe, though.
We're one
champions of the Conference League.
We'll be one. This is
right. This is typical.
We're the best seventh place team in Europe.
This is typical West Ham and Dan Lawless, that he's going to try and sing Champions of Europe for a competition, right, that they had to beat Larnaca and bloody Vibrator FC Wi-Fi passcodes for, right? This is the same Dan Lawless who wants the manager out still wants the manager out, yet thinks they're going to win the Conference League, and then he'll either leave, get sacked, or he'll retire. I hear now. So don't listen to what this guy says.
I'm not a flip flop like you, Potts. Right? I'm not a flip flop. Yeah, I've always listen.
Yeah, you are. You're the biggest flip flop I've ever met on here, man.
That's bollocks, mate. That's bollocks. That's bollocks.
Not even. I get onto Lawless a bit, but he's not. I'll give it. He's not.
You flip flop.
You lot been trying to cook Lawless about him being Moyes out, but he hasn't changed his stance on Moyes out. Like he's always been Moyes out, and still is Moyes out. Whereas Potts, with you lot, I can sense that you're slowly losing confidence in Arteta. I saw your interview yesterday on AFTV. He was like, the decisions he's making, the subs and all of that. I'm hearing a lot of that, and it's still what 4 games or so.
He deserves criticism, man. He's messed up in the last few games. He deserves criticism.
He
deserves a lot of praise as well this season, man. He's been brilliant.
I'll tell you what, Potts. By the way, I've got to mention this. If fucking Sam, that little weasel Sam, right, does not clip you up, I'm coming for it.
Of course he's not going to.
Because the amount of times he's clipped me up, and this is the biggest, honestly, deserves the biggest clip because there's so many clips of you going, I think we'll win it. Let's go around the table. Do you think we're going to win the league? And then someone going, no, I don't think Arsenal's going to win the league. And you're like, oh, really? Side eyes and all that,
He even clipped me up for the Arsenal defeat. And he clips everyone up apart from Potts. So Potts,
exactly. And now we've got you. How easy? If that's not a clip, then boy, he better work his magic.
You got his number. You send him it. Send him the stuff. See what he does.
How can he listen? He can find my shit real easy. He's an Arsenal fan. He must be subscribed to Arsenal Fan TV and AFT Extra. He must have that. He's got so much footage. I need to see this, I need to see this clip because it's going to be beautiful.
It's a great week. Let's say that. It's a great week.
Yeah, thanks.
I can understand why the congestion charges in London are so high. Honestly, I really can.
It's a great week for the Palace must have won. How did you get on?
No, we lost. But in honesty,
you lost.
It
was a great week. I just assumed you would have won.
Okay, let me
Is Little Dan coming on?
The reason why I'm saying it's a great week, the reason why I'm saying it's a great week is, I'll be honest, I had no expectations for the Wolves game. We literally rotated our squad. We have like Luka Milivojevic playing, CDM. We had Lukonga. Yes, the Arsenal Lukonga. You can have him back. We had him starting in this game. Absolutely, let me not start on him.
I told you he's shit.
I told you. Right back.
I said he was shit from day one, by the way, before you lot realised he was shit. Like, after your first, I said, what's this sign?
And that's why we rested our players. We didn't have Zaha. Like, that's why I don't care about Wolves. I honestly don't. I've reached a stage where, like, I don't have to care about individual games like that. West Ham now, I will care about it because I'm going to cook Lawless. That's a different situation. But the Wolves, like, it is what it is. We lost that game. We're still above them. And, move on to the next game. But for me, the game I was looking forward to was the City game. And that didn't disappoint.
Can we remember, by the way, when they celebrated getting knocked out of all the cups because it meant they could focus on the league?
Oh, yeah. One game a week. Now we can focus on the league.
We can focus on the league. Boy, that's you focusing on the league.
They got worse. They got worse.
Wow, you know it. Look at it. Oh, yeah, let's turn this around.
It's true. What can I say? It's true.
Oh, I tell you what, someone's mentioning Ben White, What a little rat Ben White is, trying to pick on Foden. What a clown he is,
What was that over? What was that over? Does anyone know?
I think he was just salty, right? Because Foden's going to say, like, good game and all of that. I can't remember what play it was. He's got making a beeline. He's going past all the big players, right? He's picking on the smallest player in the team, and trying to act tough and show he's got a bit of fire. Didn't show that during the 90 minutes when he played against City, but wants to put on a big show for the fans and act the hard man. Absolute clown, That guy, honestly, needs to go back to working.
Please tell me unbelief is not being serious when they say this.
Listen. Sufal would slap the taste out of Ben White's mouth.
You're an absolute idiot. You're an absolute. You're deluded.
You think Ben White's some kind of tough guy? You think he's a tough guy?
You're deluded.
You think Ben White's a tough guy?
Sufal is actually crap. Like,
Sufal would beat the shit out of Ben White. Right, he would literally.
We're playing football
for breakfast,
not MMA.
Tell
Ben White that. Tell Ben White that. Tell Ben White that when he was trying to square up to Foden, yeah. But that's what I mean. He's a coward, mate. He's a bully. He's a bully. Come on, Potts. You got it. You even said it. You lot were sending your watch along. Where was this Turkish said it? Where was this? I'm not trying to see all of this passion, all of this.
Oh, I agree with that. I can't agree that Soufal is better than White. Anyway.
Well, he's a clown, though, isn't it? Though Ben White's a clown.
Is he?
I mean, he's got the makeup as well for it. So
don't worry. It's only the start, Potts. It's gonna get worse. Don't worry. It's only the start. We'll be.
You lot are just too nice. I know, like obviously, you know, he pretends to be all humble, like I said, and says you're all staying up. You're all every single one
Lawless,
of you.
Remember we spoke about it. He thinks everyone's staying up.
Everyone's staying up.
What?
Please be nice.
Leeds are staying up as well. Yeah.
Listen, I can't hear no Ben White slander either because we're not in the Premier League if we don't have Ben White. He was unreal at Leeds on loan, man. He was
True.
He was the best centre back in the Championship. So
he was
unreal. So
I agree with that.
Though, isn't he?
He's not as good as Soufal, but he's a good player apparently.
Yeah, but do you know what? Soufal, mate, he's hard.
To be fair, he had a better game in the Arsenal West Ham game. Ben White or Soufal? I don't know. I can't remember.
Yeah. What was Ben White doing?
The game that Arsenal drew 2-2 after 2-0.
The game where West Ham smacked us about should have won loads and all their players are on fire. Yeah, that game.
Yeah, we should have won that game.
Fire, they got drawn. Yeah, got a draw.
You got lucky. Yeah. You got lucky.
How did you get on last night, by the way, Lawless? You must have won with this chest. What happened last night?
Got screwed over by the referee.
Oh, it's normal. That one hasn't been around for a while. That's been a few weeks since the referees haven't had a bad game. They must have had a bad game. What happened then, mate? I didn't watch. Obviously, I was a bit preoccupied. Paqueta apparently scored a world-class goal, but still couldn't win them the game. What's gone on, mate?
By the sounds of things, you should have watched our game and gave yours a miss, mate.
I should have. Yeah, would have given me some more laughter.
Well, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know what's funnier than your game, but yeah, like basically what happened was, Paqueta had a worldie. Gakpo obviously done really well, scores their goal, and at the end of the day, we had a penalty shout that got avoided, that got ignored.
Was it a penalty? Has anyone seen it? I ain't seen it. Was it a penalty?
Yeah, it hit Thiago Alcantara, but he was kind of falling over as it happened. So
in the letter of the law, it's not a penalty because I mean, the law's an ass. I don't agree with it at all. But in the letter of
falling, law, he slides in, right? Studs up. This is the thing.
It's not
with his arm out.
It's support on the ground. That's what they class it as. And so in the letter of the law, unfortunately, it's not a penalty.
Does anyone put their arm to the ground? He's literally sliding in, right? And he puts his arm, but he like basketballs it. Yeah, it's like boom, 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 like that.
Hold up, Lawless. Hold up. Didn't a similar situation happen West Ham, where you guys literally handballed? It was a home game. That's why you're smiling. I think you remember what I'm talking about. I can't remember exactly who it was against, but it happened this season where it was a clear handball and the referee.
Conor Gallagher, wasn't it?
Didn't give it. What was it?
Conor Gallagher, I think.
Yeah, it was against Chelsea. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was.
Yeah, so Lawless, you can't really talk about handball.
Whoa. Why? That's a separate game. That game has been and gone.
I saw
the similar incident, though, isn't it?
Someone put it on Twitter, man. Someone put it on Twitter, and they said West Ham fans are crying, but this happened. Yeah, I remember it.
Oh yeah, but what happened at at Chelsea's ground? Yeah, with Cornet's goal being ruled out. So you know what I mean. At the end of the day, we take each game on individually, right? Whatever happened in that game, or I've got Fulham fans still coming back to me and go, "Oh, but we had 2 handball shouts," and you know, in our
don't
game,
get on to Emilio.
No offense, Emilio. No offense.
No. You know, again, it's like Moisey yesterday complaining he's got a short memory from 2 weeks ago. You know, it's I keep saying some you win, some you lose. Right? It's the same old thing.
It doesn't make it right. I mean, it doesn't mean
right. No, I agree.
And it doesn't mean that Potts gets to cook me because he doesn't, because we were robbed. Yeah.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does.
It doesn't deflect. Look, we lost to Liverpool. Yeah. Champions League winners.
I thought you said you was going to win though.
No, I thought we could. I thought that was the game I earmarked as us being able to win. We played really well. Yeah, and at the end of the day, we should have. The referee was shocking. Not even just that decision; he was shocking all game. He was absolutely shocking. They love Liverpool. These refs absolutely love them. Yeah.
It was the same in the Wolves game for us.
Yeah, terrible. The standard of
The refs
refereeing
cost
is
both
awful.
of us, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah. And do you know what? Who was it? I was talking to someone, and my mate, and this Arsenal fan, he was trying to say, yeah, the refs screwed us over yesterday as well. Refs cost us the game as well.
No way.
Like, what?
No way.
What?
They got scored yesterday. Nothing about referee. They treated them like a championship side, Man City. Like
Smoking the
they
hopium. That's what I mean.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
at the
They
end
know
of the
about
day,
like West Ham did a few weeks ago. Yeah. Or Southampton last week. Yeah. A few teams have done that to Arsenal recently. Yeah. That's what Man City just done.
Yeah, so don't deflect, bots. We're fine. We're fine, mate. We're fine. We're safe. We're not going down. I know you wish we would. We're staying up.
Yeah.
Here he is.
Same.
Sam,
Relax.
Speaking of staying
Fuck off, Southampton, the South Coast. You know what, mate? Absolutely delighted for what's happened tonight. Like the game was pretty woeful, I've got to say. Like first half especially, but we did what we had to do. And when you've paid for talent like Marcus Tavernier, he's been absolutely superb for us. I'm so delighted with how it's gone. I think Saints were woeful. They probably are going down, but you know what? We weren't that much better, but we just did what we had to do. Had a few shandies, I won't lie. However, mate, I'm absolutely delighted. And Joe, my preview of you, mate, it's going to be so delightful now because I'm going to be so relaxed. It's going to be absolutely fine, mate. So chuffed.
Mate, it was a bit nervy at the end, Sam, when Che Adams got the goal.
Yeah, you know what? I didn't see it. I sort of turned my back at one stage and then heard Southampton roar, obviously. I was having a piss at that point in time, I must say. and then I went up, head in my hands, and then this kind of VAR check-in. And then at that point, you've got that kind of glimmer of hope. But then when they said it was disallowed, I mean, I don't know how bad it was, but yeah. No, he
was offside. He was offside.
Was he?
That's VAR looking after big clubs, Sam, isn't it? VAR looking after the big clubs,
Club
mate.
bias.
So yeah, so pleased, and look, we've every single pundit, I've said it on previous shows, every single pundit had us down, and I don't blame them because we are a very small club, but I think that's what they look at. They look at the stadium size, they look at a number of things, but they don't necessarily think about who we've got in charge and the kind of money that they're willing to splash out.
The mighty Gary O'Neill on the touchline.
Do you know what, Sam? I'm going to say this now. One, I think you're safe, and two, he's got to be he's got to be. He won't get it, but he's got to be considered for one of the managers of the season for me, Gary O'Neill. What he's done with that. Come on, man! Jesus, what he's doing there is unbelievable, isn't it? I did not see this coming. I thought you were dead and buried at one stage, mate. He's picked you up and deserves some credit, I think, man.
Look, he 100% does. He does deserve some credit. Absolutely, he really does. However, when you look at the squad we've got, I think that we should be in a better league position than what we are. But you've got to say that he is a manager that has picked a team up that was on the floor after Scott Parker had us, lost 9-0 at Liverpool, and then what he's done from that point forward is very, very good. However, that's not to say that he couldn't have done better, because I think that there have been some matches where we've been pretty woeful. So he's learning on the job. Look, we gave, I think Tom said on the overlap, we've given a Ferrari, and I know that Joe kicked off at this euphemism, but we've given a Ferrari to a guy that hasn't got a driving license, and that's not to say that we are the Ferrari, but we're a side that have got a lot of money now. And we've given the job to a guy that has never managed in the Premier League before. So, to be where we are, I think credit to him. But whether he gets it for another year, I don't quite know. But obviously, I'm delighted. I'm absolutely delighted.
Listen, I don't watch Bournemouth as much as you, man, and I appreciate that there's some things that you might not be happy about with Gary O'Neill, but I think he deserves a hell of a lot of credit. And one thing I will disagree with you about, though, is that Bournemouth squad should be higher up in the table. I actually don't look at Bournemouth squad and think, wow, how are they not 11th, 10th, 11th? I look at them and think they should be in the relegation type zone. And I think a few more players in the summer, you might start to look towards what you're saying. But I think he's done a great job. And Joe, I'll let you reply, man. What do you think? Bournemouth safe now?
Yeah. For me, you see, I wanted them to lose. I'm sorry, Sam. I wanted them to lose because I just felt like Southampton, for me, over the course of the season, are not staying up. So I wanted Bournemouth just to be pulled in that little bit closer, because if we beat them on Sunday, we'd have actually jumped above them. But Yeah, them having a win. There's some Leeds. Look, we're always looking for positives. Some Leeds fans are going, they might be on beach now. I was like, they've only won one game. They're not going to like go, oh, that's us now. Do you know what I mean? And the one thing that worries me, Sam, as well, and football's all about stories. Obviously, Bournemouth fans know about Leeds fans coming down to the beach, 91, 92. Yeah,
I was there.
Yeah, exactly. So there's a little bit of that. So I know them Bournemouth fans are going to be well up for it, and they'd love nothing more than to, I guess, be one of the teams to potentially send Leeds down. So it's got a little bit extra spice to it, I think.
Yeah, it has got a bit of extra spice. But I mean, one thing I would say is that our squad, in terms of what we've paid out for players, it's we paid out twice as much that Brighton have, like Brentford, in terms of squad values, I know that he's learning, but in my mind, I think that we should be maybe more safe than what he is. But look, Gary O'Neill's done an excellent job. I can't deny that. Whether he's done enough to have the job, I don't know. I think probably. I mean, how can you be on the board at AC Bournemouth and maybe not give him the job? But in my mind, we should be in a better league position than what we are. But look, we've
Who would you get though, Sam? Who would you get?
Well, exactly. I mean, that's the $64,000 question. I'm not too sure, to be honest. I think, I really don't know. But at the end of the day, mate, I'm not worried about conversations 2 weeks down the line now, because I'm so happy after what's happened today. I've been to Southampton, who's been a team that have historically been a number of divisions above us, usually 2 divisions above us, and we've gone to their place and we've got a result today. And I think a lot of Bournemouth fans are just ecstatic that we can finally say, mind the gap. And it's going to be a divisional gap rather than a points gap for once. So, yeah, we're absolutely delighted.
Fair play, man. Listen, Sam, we'll let you shoot off, man. I appreciate you jumping off, bro. And enjoy it, my friend. Enjoy it. Thanks for jumping on, bro.
Have the cherry. See you later.
See you, mate. Take care, bro.
See you later, mate.
Sam there is going to be well happy with that. I can't even lie to him. What a ledge. And I think Gary O'Neill, I've got to say, for me, I think he's done well, man. I think he deserves credit.
Former West Ham player.
Oh, here we go. That's
why.
That's
Taking credit for this.
A little touch on that.
Add that to the World Cup you've got there.
You're not taking credit for that. You're not taking credit for that.
Have a little West Ham. That's all we do.
I'll tell you what,
he drove through Nottingham once, I think, and stopped looking at the team.
If West Ham win that Conference Cup and Bournemouth stay up, then West Ham really have had an amazing season. Gary O'Neill, wow, that's another thing to put on there. They might as well engrave that on the trophy they get as well. Gary O'Neill kept Bournemouth up.
Ain't Scott Parker former West Ham?
Yeah, Scott Parker
is.
well.
Yeah. So interesting. You don't want to talk about Scott Parker and how much he's a bottle job, but you want to.
Well, technically, he came
or
from
Frank Lampard, by the way. Or
no,
Frank Lampard, another West Ham.
I mean, West Ham are having some brilliant former players as managers.
Lampard and Parker are more. They're associated with Chelsea, innit? They're Chelsea, So. But Redknapp kept Spurs up.
Do you know what? Normally this show is lower end, but while we're just on bigger clubs. I want to talk about Frank Lampard because, oh my God, man. The guy's coming to the football club. And what is it now? 6 losses on the spin and only 1 goal or something?
It's terrible, man.
Yeah.
Oh, it's glorious. It is glorious because the amount of stick that I took from Chelsea fans when we first came back to the Premier League, and I was telling them week after week that he is a rubbish manager. He took Derby from 6 to 6. I've seen him... I think they seen that one playoff semi-final that he got over us, but totally forgot the other 3 games where he got absolutely schooled.
Yeah.
He got lucky on that day. But, yeah, for him to come in, and the mad thing is for me as well, he's probably still going to get another job, but he shouldn't. He shouldn't. Because he's, for me, stopping other managers who actually deserve it. I remember... I think it was the Champions League, and he's talking to Rio and Joe Cole and that on BT, and he's like, "Oh, you've got it easy." And I thought, you ain't got a fecking Scooby-Doo anyway, man. You're better off just going and standing with them talking about the football as opposed to actually trying to coach in it. And I would argue the only time he did okay at Derby was because of Jody Morris. Now Jody Morris isn't on the
Yeah.
fucking scene. He ain't got Scooby-Doo and Frank Lampard, and I think it's absolutely glorious,
Hey,
especially when
Lampard.
there's certain. I hate him. I'm off now. There's certain content creators out there. We're talking about him being, Super Frank's back. He's going to win us the Champions League and all that sort of stuff. And I just think absolute clown.
I think you know who you're talking about.
Yes,
Yeah,
absolute
love
clown.
this.
That guy.
I love this from Steve Brown. Always love James Corden.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
That's brilliant. That is class. Listen, I think you're bang on, man. And I had Everton going down this season for the pure fact that Frank Lampard was there. And I do think still if they go down, which I now think they will, that it'll be him they look to, not Sean Dyche, because like literally what a mess. Well, they are all over the place. And look at Chelsea now, I think it's probably the best team we could play next. I mean, if they end up beating us or taking any of us, then I'm happily let Lourdes and D put me in the mud because that is poor if we can't beat them. They are.
I want to see you go to Arteta out. I want to see you go back to Arteta out if you lose that game.
I want that, Pots. I want us to reach that stage. We're slowly getting there. We're happy. We're heading in the right direction.
Everybody wants Arsenal. Everyone wants Arsenal in the mud again. Now Arsenal are relevant again. They absolutely hate it. These people. It's mad. They can't hack it. Can't hack it.
Arteta out next season.
Listen,
but Lampard, long may it continue.
Yeah,
Lampard, and let's remember, by the way, Lampard couldn't get Derby up with Mason Mount and Tomori on their side.
And Harry Wilson.
Yeah.
Embarrassing. Absolutely embarrassing.
I don't know where he goes from here.
He's an awful manager. He shouldn't get a job.
He'll end up getting the England job, Lawless, man.
Yeah.
Honestly,
you know what?
The
I
FA
can
end
see
up
him at
giving
Palace. No offense, D, but I swear to
up,
God.
man.
Let's be really real.
I love that.
Stop doing this.
No. Like, can everyone picture it?
Yeah, kind of.
No, because a lot of our fans hate him and they sing Big Fat Frank. That'll never happen.
No, he wouldn't be at Palace.
Can we all? You can all picture it, can't we? Like, imagine it. You can see him there on the touch.
Now he's mentioned it. To be fair, you can.
He's such a. I don't.
He's got a point.
Do you remember that interview he did with Palace? Like,
yes.
Shit goal.
Lucky goal. Yeah, it was brilliant.
Yeah, he's proper West Ham. He's proper West Ham. He ain't Palace.
Brilliant that interview.
Also, don't talk about managers because you also imagine Poch and all them managers at West Ham as well. So your imagination, wow.
So preach it, D. Preach it.
Imagination, because your imagination is all over the place.
But you were talking about big boy managers on your show earlier. We did on your preview. You were talking about
what managers? You're just
Nagelsmann and that or whatever.
What Palace? Getting Nagelsmann.
Yeah, it's all right. All these
Joe
D. Who was? D.
If it's not on the show, it's because he's edited it out.
What I'm mentioning in the show is that you're the most deluded West Ham fan that I know. And that is
no.
Yo, they started together and now they're at each other.
You never ever said Nagelsmann. You know that as well. You know who you're getting when Moyes goes? Mark Noble. That's the best that you're getting.
Who you getting? Tell me who you're getting. Who you getting?
Be managing that pile of rubbish when Declan Rice leaves.
Who you getting when Hodgson goes? Come on, tell me. Let's hear it.
Like we're looking at finals manager Arnie Slot. We're looking at Adi Hutter. We're looking at a few managers.
Yeah, a few managers. No, listen, you're getting Lampard and liking it. Yeah.
Oh, be quiet, man.
You're getting Lampard and liking
Moyes anyway. So this still
anyway.
We still got a better manager. Manager than you lot.
This ain't the Palace and West Ham show. So let's go to, before I come to Joe and Dave, let's come to two people who actually did play each other in midweek, Billy and Emilio. Emilio, let's start with you. Fulham, they're the ones I wouldn't want to put my money on at the moment. I don't know what I'm going to get with Fulham. Like,
unpredictable,
unpredictable, man. Like, but I will say that you would have taken this season in August, right? So I think you're in a good place still. I think you can have a good summer and look like you could be on the up again, man. But what have you made of your recent weeks, Emilio?
Yeah, a bit unpredictable. You know, our heads elsewhere. And, you know, everyone's focusing on the Mitrovic incident with Man United last month, all the sending offs, and we've done our job, right? You know, we've stayed up. The objective was finishing 17th. We've done that. You know, I'm proud of this team. You know, we've gone off the boil, but it's similar. Brighton, all these other teams. There's no depth there. You know, with a few injuries, fatigue creeping in. You know, Willian, picked up an injury in warm-up on Tuesday. We missed him badly, I think, on Tuesday. That's saying something. You know, Willian 34-35, and we missed this quality against Villa on Tuesday night. But overall, look, I've got no qualms this season. We need to rebuild for next year for sure. This team isn't good enough to push on next season. The players are punched above their weight. They've kept us up in this division, but we need to strengthen. There's about half a dozen new players that we need. Starting players. I'm not talking about bench players. We need 6 new starting players next year to basically survive next season, let alone push on. So it's this season we've survived, get the money in the bank. Let's start building for next year. But next year's going to be tough. I think next year's going to be tough. I'm looking back at those bottom 6 teams thinking, thank fuck we're not in there ourselves, because we're, you don't know, who's going to go down. I can't predict it at the moment. Normally we're in that mix. So thank God we're not having to worry about looking down. We can. I don't think we're going to look up much more, but next priority is finishing above Chelsea. Finish above Chelsea, then what more do you want? How much have they spent? 666 million or something stupid. And if we've managed to be 6 points ahead of them and a better goal difference, that's unheard of. So look, I'm proud of this team. We'll strengthen in the summer for sure, and hopefully we can push on. But we were second best on Tuesday night. I think it was a poor game, Billy. I think you'll admit that as well. I think you dominated, but you didn't really cause us many problems with all that possession and threat. That was a thing.
No.
And if it wasn't for that, we were poor defending, but you scored that good goal, and that was about it. To be honest, I thought Villa were poor, but we offered very little up front. We were toothless, missing Mitrovic, or lacking cutting edge up front, and we're missing quality through that middle of the pitch as well. Defensively, we're not conceding many. I thought we second half we looked okay, but without cutting edge and without the quality. So you know what, we can't complain. All Fulham fans would have taken mid-table before the season, including myself. So let's roll on. Let's enjoy
not
the
just
summer.
Mid-table, but top half as well.
Huh?
I said not just mid-table, but top half as well.
Yeah, and we've been. If there's any disappointment, is we were consistently top 6, top 7. I think we were talking about getting promotion into your Premier League top 6, Dan, weren't it, a few weeks ago? So it's so we have gone off the boil, and it's no surprise. But Marco Silva deserves a lot of credit. I don't think he gets enough credit.
I agree with that. I think he's been really good this season, and he's a manager that like Everton were laughing off, and that a lot of managers, teams and fans were saying, "Oh, we're not sure about him. He's tried it with Hull and Everton, and it ain't worked." And I think he's been great for Fulham. And I also think, although Mitrovic has been one of those players that people will look at for discipline issues, and rightly so, he is a massive reason as to why Fulham are right up there in terms of the amount of goals he scored. So I think he deserves some credit as well. But the thing is, Emilio, just before I come to Billy on the game, right? I think Fulham, in terms of their future, you've never really been afraid to spend money. So I expect you to do the same in the summer, if I'm honest with you, mate.
Yeah, and I think the thing is, this is the problem in the Premier League. You take away these top 5 teams with all that spending power, right? How can you compete with that? That's the problem. That's the problem I find. It's like, take away that top 6 team and spending £100 million on a player, 200 grand wages. How can a club like Fulham compete with that? We've got to be proud, and we're only going to be able to attract 10, 15 million pound players at most. 67 million.
You have got money though, right, Emilio? The Khan family's loaded though, isn't it?
Yeah. And I think a lot of it's all about balancing the books. We're still, the club is still making a loss. They've spent a lot of money on the stadium rebuild. That'll be pretty much ready for next season. And they will be. They've proved they can spend money. They've been in 9 years, and they have spent many millions on the. But he's made a quote on the other day saying it's all about sustainability, balancing the books. He's going to be spending.
Need some WD-40 on that door, doesn't he, Dave? Wow.
Sorry about the squeaky fridge there, lads. It's not been open for a while.
That was a fridge.
That was a fridge.
Yeah, it's my fridge door. It's my fridge door. I've got a number of heads in there, but I can't tell you who they are.
He hasn't been open for a while.
Dave Dahmer. I'm actually a psycho killer.
I just don't think we get enough credit. And I'm being, you know what I'm like. I'm a normal, pragmatic and grounded.
It's those Brighton fans, Emilio. Those Brighton fans.
Well, look,
enough credit.
I don't know where Max is tonight, but I was going to say again, it's they gave me a lot of grief. Now they said they've manned up and apologized. But even now, if we can finish my Chelsea,
Emilio,
that'll make my season.
Brighton,
Tell him, Emilio.
Very quiet from last night, mate.
Where is he? Well, look, he's complaining like Rio. You know, not enough squad. The squad's like.
Where is he? Where is Maz?
Always
Where is he?
excuses. Always
It's
excuses.
not even me. It's Emilio that's calling out Maz. I've let go of Maz. It's Emilio.
Where is
now.
he? Where
Emilio
is he?
versus Maz. I don't-
Maz, he said he wasn't available tonight. That's all he said to me. I'm not available tonight.
yeah.
I said, okay.
That's
Of course he is.
How
Of
convenient.
course he is.
Yeah,
exactly.
convenient.
But like I said, the game wasn't a classic on Tuesday night. But Villa, they're flying at the moment. You know, you must be happy, Billy. No.
Over the moon, mate. Over the moon.
Man.
You're flying, Bill. You're flying.
Yeah.
Unai Emery, man. Good evening. I told people, mate. And Pete didn't like it on my channel the other week when I said it, right? I think he kind of took it the wrong way of how I said it, right? But I said if you get top 4, which I don't think you will, but I do think you could potentially get Europe. I said Unai Emery would deserve manager of the season. And Pete said, no, it should be Eddie Howe. But I disagree with that, and I still disagree with it because Unai Emery had you from 16th all the way now up into Champions League spot. Could you imagine?
Yeah.
That would just been unheard of. And I
Imagine if we've got 10 more games left.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
So
take those 10 Steven Gerrard games off. Well, it's a good job we mathematically can't catch up, isn't it?
You are in such a good place, man. You've been unbelievable this last third of the season. I think Unai Emery deserves a hell of a lot of credit.
Yeah,
and I think
he's starting to get it as well. To be fair,
good though, isn't it? It's good.
Yeah,
it's good that he is.
It is. Yeah, we've spoken about his time at Arsenal and how disrespected he's been because of that. And I mean, I'm just going to sound like a broken record saying it over and over again. But after coming from after following Arsene Wenger, it was a position that was always going to fail. Maybe it was the right club, wrong time kind of thing.
We had different board members, Billy, as well, ahead of him.
Yeah,
listen, Billy, don't listen to that, right? They didn't give him time. They didn't trust his process. Yeah, people like Potts hounded the man out rather than giving him a chance. He got them to the Europa League final. We would eventually won it for them. They probably would have won the league this year if they kept Emery. He probably would have got them over the line. He is a better manager than Arteta. And thanks to Dan Potts hounding him out, they've bottled the league and you're chasing your.
You're enjoying it.
It's one man. I individually got Emery out.
Reason for Arsenal's fate.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You shouldn't have never hounded Emery out. How do you feel? How do you feel?
Anyway, Billy, please continue. Don't feel you're interrupted rudely by a West Ham fan. Carry on, Bill.
He's great, Emery. I just wanted to add that. I just wanted to say,
I think he's great.
Time at Arsenal. He didn't even do bad at Arsenal. He went on a 20-game unbeaten streak. They didn't have patience. You've got a good manager. I would have took him. He don't listen to these Arsenal.
You got Moyes, man. You don't need him. You got Moyes. He's going to win you the Conference League. Come on, have faith. Don't hound people out, Lawless. Keep faith with him.
Well,
Moyes is going to win you a trophy.
He would have done. He would have won a European trophy, which is more than what added. Arteta done in.
Well, Moyes is going to win one. So when Moyes wins the European trophy, it'll be your best manager in history.
Wait till next season. We remember the 10-2s against Bayern and stuff. That's the real Arsenal that we know in Champions League.
And Billy's got to look forward to at least probably a Europa League final. Like you're going to probably finish Europa League, and you got the Europa League man. So.
I hope so.
It's fantastic for Villa. Like in all honesty, you have to look at the size of the club. It's a big club, and also you got decent players as well. You got a manager that knows what to do in Europe. It's all set up to be successful. Like I just don't see how it will be a failure. Maybe maybe you need to sign a few more players in summer, which I expect you to do anyways, especially if you go European football. And yeah, I think next season, Villa, I'm only saying this not because it's Villa, I'm saying this for Emery's sake, in all honesty. In Europe, you should be a force. You should be, especially if it's the Europa League, because that's his trade. He knows that well. Of course,
I think Arsenal, as well.
They bottled it, but with Villa, with a big club like Villa, I think you'll be able to get it down the line. Like, you'll be able to actually win the European trophy.
I think as well, right? Billy, sorry, Bill, I'll let you come in, I promise, in a minute.
That's all right,
I believe, like fans like Bill, I've got time for as well, because he's been realistic, right, about Villa, and he deserves this. And I'll tell you why. I will remind D that at the start of this show, right at the start of the season, I asked everyone who would finish higher. Billy remained humble and said he thinks it would be Brighton. We had Maz on at the time. D said Palace and started crying because no one else did. Look how that turned out.
Yeah, all
And
right.
Billy's going to be the one that gets the last laugh because I think that he
Hold
might.
on. But okay. If we're doing that, what about Lawless? Bring Lawless into this as well.
Whoa.
Say that West Ham will finish above Man United. So why are you just getting onto my predictions and not?
Well, he was talking about this show, yeah. They were talking about this show, yeah. I weren't on this one. I wasn't on that one, so I weren't there. Man.
You said West Ham will finish above Palace.
Yeah, and we beat you on Saturday.
You always say this until you lose the next.
But the thing is, the reason why
we have a good run of games.
The reason why Billy's probably humble is he probably is a bit grateful to be in the league because obviously goal line's got no, you know. So you know what I mean? Yeah, so he's got to sit there and keep his head down.
By the way, Lawless, you're getting sucked into this. Potts is trying to deflect Arsenal's blame onto us. Like, let's not do this tonight.
That's what I'm saying. He's so sly. He's very sly.
That's what I'm saying.
He's been like this.
Can we just get
you
back
started together, you separated, and you're back together now.
We're coming back together now. Can we just let
Ross and Rachel from Friends? They were on a break.
Listen, I think Villa could finish above Arsenal next season. We're going to talk about Villa. You want to get back to Villa?
You are.
Wait.
You're trolling.
How's your past few seasons been? Well, last season you finished 5th, then it was 8th, and it was 8th. Why is that so? What you think you're finishing?
You're absolutely trolling.
Really?
Not even next season. You're gonna have a decline. You will have a decline next season.
You're in Champions League. Villa. I'm telling you, Villa. You think that's mad? Hey, Bill, come on. You think that's crazy? That the possibility? Do you think it's as mad as what he's saying?
Tottenham think. Okay, can I just say, Billy? Tottenham. Lawless thinks Tottenham's going to get relegated. Arsenal are going to finish above Villa, and West Ham are going to finish above United, Newcastle, and Arsenal probably, and Villa probably. The guy is absolutely
what a
crazy.
Load of shit. I never said any of that. I never said any of that.
Hinted at it.
He's just made it all up. But no, like, do you think it's laughable? Like, see, this is what Potts does. He's very sly.
He does it.
He's all nice to you, yeah, but he laughs in your face and he looks down on you. And that's what he's doing. I don't think it's crazy you could finish above them.
Billy, if you don't think it's crazy, then go for it, mate. But
they're going to have a decline, promise you.
It is a bit crazy. Don't get me wrong. If we can somehow continue on this trajectory, then we're going to win the league.
This is you. This is Arsenal. This is you. Yeah, passing shit.
Let's be real. Arsenal's only doing this when other teams are just bad. Like even City's been bad this season. Let's be honest. They just picked up recently and they've gone a good run of form. Arsenal just done this because other teams are bad. And even during that period, they've had some average games. Even against Bournemouth, like you're very lucky to win that game. You've been edging games at the thick of it, and it shows, like, you know, your class is permanent form. Like,
we ain't got the squad to win the league, but that's the next step.
Yeah, but then again, when next season when other teams step up, then Arsenal's going to be back to you.
Yeah,
like,
and Villa and Fulham can strengthen. West Ham can come back.
Listen,
Fulham can strengthen.
I've got much respect for Villa and Fulham, but I don't worry about them passing Arsenal, right? So let's just calm.
All right, but don't forget we finished above them not too long ago. So let's.
I'm so worried about your club. I'm so worried about them.
European champions by the end of the season, Dan.
Yeah, they're going to be
champions of Europe.
And he actually will sing that as well because he's embarrassing.
We'll be one of the champions, one of 3.
Anyway, we're moving. Bill, last word on Villa, man.
It's just great to be a Villa fan at the minute, and I you know, I'm still trying to come to terms with the fact that we're actually 5th. You know, from where we were 16th, 17th under Gerrard, looking like we was going to be really in a relegation battle, to Emery coming in. You know, we've scored in every single game he's managed. You know, 20 games on the spin, a Premier League record. It's just crazy. And I mean, if we can continue on this trajectory, God knows where we could be. The only thing is, you know, you've got your teams like Liverpool and your Chelseas that aren't going to have off seasons every season. Newcastle are strengthening. I mean, just look at them this season. They've not even spent half the money that they can do. You know, it's going to be really tough. But you know, Villa are also doing this without Cash. We're doing it without Kamara. We're doing it without Bailey. You know, we're doing it without Coutinho. We don't have the squad depth at the minute. You know, we've got have 4 big players. You know, Kamara in particular, Cash in particular. We're doing this with a 37-year-old Ashley Young at right back. It's just incredible, and that's what we need to focus on in the summer. Just adding squad depth, especially if we get Europe. And something I was thinking about as well. It's no longer, you know, we've got Emi Martinez there, who's a World Cup winner. You know, you look at that Argentina squad, and you've got Emi Martinez, one of the best goalkeepers in the world. You know, playing for 11th side Aston Villa. And, you know, it almost seems like a little bit embarrassing that he's playing for us. But all of a sudden now we've propelled to 5th. And it's, you know, it's no longer embarrassing to play for us. You know, no one's talking about him potentially moving anymore because we're 5th, because we're going to be playing in Europe. You know, he said it himself. He's tried to get his Argentinian friends to come here. I think Paulo Dybala has got a 12 million euro release clause for clubs outside of Italy or something. His missus was begging for a move to England on a recent podcast that he did with Ian Wright. So you never know. Players like Dybala at Villa. Maybe I'm dreaming a little bit.
That's moving to England, but moving to Birmingham is a bit.
There's a city centre's a bit dodgy, but.
There's nothing wrong with Nechel's or Aston. Solihull's lovely.
You've not been there for a while.
Solihull Dolly Birds were laid end to end. Nobody being the least bit surprised. There's some lovely places in Birmingham, honestly. And they had Tiswas back in the day, you know what I mean?
Dybala. I remember when he came on the scene, everyone thought he was going to be like Messi, and like, yeah, that ain't worked out. But yeah, listen, do you know what it is with Emi Martinez quickly as well?
Depth at the minute, though, man. It's squad depth that we need to focus on.
And it always will be, man, for a while. And I think in a couple of windows, you might start to think, wow, we're looking good, you know. When Doozy will get another link, I'm sure, with Arsenal, with Aston Villa, because Emery loves him. But yeah, man, it'll be good stuff. And with Martinez, I think people are a little bit unsure on how much of a nutcase that he is as well. So that might
is he better than Ramsdale? Is he better than Ramsdale?
Oh, 100%.
Yeah,
right, Emi Martinez.
I want to hear Potts say it though.
As a goalkeeper, he is. There's certain parts to Ramsdale's game that he's better than Martinez. For example,
I love Martinez.
playing out the back with his feet. He's a brilliant passer of the ball, Ramsdale. But I think as a shot stopper, as a all-round goalkeeper, Martinez is much better in my opinion. And Martinez has improved like ridiculous amounts with his feet. He's looking really comfortable.
That could have been the difference between Arsenal winning the league.
I think
someone like him who's a winner.
Man, Ramsdale's made a couple of errors of late, but
he's been class. He has been class, and I'll hold my hands up because I wasn't a fan of Ramsdale before.
Oh, that's how much of a fan he was.
It disappeared like Ramsdale.
That's how much of a fan he was. He's jumped off. Yeah. He's back.
StreamYard knew that I was chatting rubbish.
Man, you always talk sense.
No, credit to Ramsdale. He has had a fantastic season. He is a very good goalkeeper, but in my opinion, as a all-round package, Martinez comes out on top for me.
Let's move to Joe and Dave. The reason I've left you to last is for a reason, because I can't decide which one of you is going down, but I do think it's one of you. It's like a flip of a coin each time.
So you think Leicester are staying up?
I think Leicester will do. I think they've just got individual quality that I think will just get them over the line somehow. Madison,
they've got
Vardy,
Everton.
I think that Dean Smith.
I think Dean Smith will do enough to just keep him, just get them safe. So it's between Leeds and Forest for me.
Dean Smith's whack, man. He's not underrated, man. Did you see?
Oh, bro, you say everyone's whack. You even say Grass is like the best manager before you play Palace. Dean Smith ain't whack. He's capable enough to keep them up with that squad.
Nope, he's a good enough manager.
Nope.
He's a good enough manager.
Nope.
Well, I think Southampton and
Joe just doesn't like Dean Smith.
This is true as well, yeah.
Joe doesn't like Dean Smith, but he's got it in for Leicester because a lot's in it. That's what it is.
I mean, I hope that's the bottom three. I do hope it's Southampton, Everton, and Leicester.
I think Leicester's staying up.
I think Leicester will. I think Southampton and Everton will go, but it's dependent on Forest and Leeds, man. So I'll leave Dave till last because I want for a reason. He'll know why in a minute. Joe, Leeds, Leicester, bro. It was like emotional, I suppose, for you, man.
Yeah, Grazia, I don't know, man. We're far too passive. We just sit back all the time waiting to concede. And I think it's got worse since, obviously, Crystal Palace and Liverpool slapped us up. We didn't really have a go at all against Fulham. And then, we went in front against Leicester. We came out second half totally different. And Dean Smith did make some good changes. He brought on Vardy, Daka, etc. And our manager, he comes out after the game saying, we deserve something after the start. And I'm a bit like, well, you're the one that changed it up. We dropped deeper and deeper. His reluctance to play Nonto is insane because
bonkers.
I think Nonto walks into any side in that bottom half, really, or at least gets used. It's the fact that he's not even getting any minutes. It's insane. I think it's become a bit of an ego thing now because he's talking about not one player, he's going to change it. Someone's always better when they're not playing, all this sort of stuff. And it's a bit like, well, no, we've seen that he's better. You know what I mean? We're not making this up. He is better. Like Sinisterra went off. And instead of bringing in Nonto, he's bringing on a right winger in Somerville to play on the left wing. Just doesn't make sense. So something's gone off there. We should have won the game. Obviously, Patrick Bamford, he has form for doing this, but that miss is criminal. That miss could send us down. I think that 2 points is that big. If we win that game against Leicester, we're like, we're all right again. We can breathe a little bit. Now, Bournemouth at the weekend. Look, it's realistic we could not win a game between now and the end of the season and still stay in this division because the teams are that poor for me down there. Okay, I think there's a lot being said about Forest beating Brighton. I think there's a lot to be. You have to think that Brighton did just come off the FA Cup semi-final, going all the way to penalties, changes there. Forest, I keep saying to people who watch me, but Forest, they've won one in about 13. Let's calm down, right? It's one win. And this isn't having a go at Dave. I'm just saying, people, one win and everyone's like, oh my God, they're the best thing since sliced bread. Everton got slapped up tonight, big time. They were woeful. Everyone talks about the Dyche effect. They've got about 1 win in 9, something like that. It's brutal. So, look, that we're not going to save ourselves. This is where I'm at. We're not going to save ourselves. The only way Leeds United stay in this division is if they're 3 worse teams than us. We've got Bournemouth away on Sunday. If we get a win there, that would be huge. Because after that, mate, we've got City, Newcastle, West Ham, Tottenham. It's not looking good. So,
that's a horrible end.
Yeah.
Apart from West Ham, that's a horrible.
Yeah, well, that's what I mean.
Well, like I said, hopefully, look, if we're safe by then, listen.
No, if you're safe, though, right? You will rest players because of
we will.
Yeah,
we got Palace. Like I said, we got Palace, so we beat them. Man United.
Shut up, man! You're not beating. You said you beat Liverpool as well. You said you beat Liverpool as well.
Whatever. You're like, no, but I'm saying
we just need
Palace. Be careful, because Sam will clip this up again.
We're gonna be great again. We're gonna be great again on the Moors. You said that you lost against Liverpool. We're gonna smoke you as well. Yeah, you're gonna have a horrible week.
This is about Leeds. This is about Leeds. This is Leeds time. This is Leeds time. It's the
give us our time. Leeds. We might not be here much longer, bro. Give us our time.
No, but I'm saying we're only 2 wins away from being to the point where we can start resting players and focus on that league. So we're not far. So if we do that, we will probably play a B team against you, which is really crucial if we get to that. So that's something to take into consideration.
Yeah, exactly. I agree.
We'll be on the beach, basically.
That's what they're saying, yeah. Bournemouth's massive, because realistically, Leeds fans are looking at Bournemouth as probably the last winnable game because of that run. So if we lose that as well, then we've picked up 1 point from Fulham, Leicester, and Bournemouth. That's relegation written all over it. So,
you'll probably lose. You'll probably lose to Bournemouth and then go beat City.
Yeah.
It's mad. Football's mad this season, man.
I said it to Dave as well.
Don't stop hoping, Potts. Don't stop dreaming.
I am on.
It's like, yeah, you go beat City and stuff. Let's be realistic. This is what Potts does. He gives false hope to people when they're on here. And that's his main problem.
He's giving false hope to himself.
Yeah, it's true. And to himself without realizing. But I said it before. Like, I hear what you're saying, Joe. I don't think Forest are now all of a sudden world beaters. But you know, they can pick up points. They can get draws. They got a few games where they can just keep it tight. That's the most important thing. This game, look, let me be honest here with you. Yeah, let's say if Leeds were in Forest's position and they won that game against Brighton, would you not come on here and say that this is it? This could be the moment that we get a bit of momentum.
Oh, yeah. Listen,
and that's why that's what Forest can get as well. I would have to do 100%. Pick up a point or two because they're only points. So it's harder than we think. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I look at their run. Obviously, Brentford away, Southampton's massive.
Chelsea. They're struggling.
Yeah, Chelsea, man.
Like, they can pick up a point or two, or they can pick up 3. Like, they got games where they can pick up points, and that's why I think it's incredible, because I thought Forest, after the run of games that they were going to have in the final 10 to 15 games, which they've had like Tottenham, Wolves, Newcastle, Villa, Liverpool, United, Brighton, I thought they were there very tough. They are still there. And they can get points based on the.
I'm sending my thoughts into D's mouth. It's fantastic. It's like he's my ventriloquist dummy. I've got my hand up his.
You know what it is, though? Like, I was really, really down. And seeing Everton last night's has given me a bit more confidence that there are other teams just as bad as us. That's it. Because they're beaten 5 by Newcastle. I mean, we play Newcastle in 2 weeks, so we'll see how that one goes. But we're all right. We're rubbish against Fulham. We're just rubbish all the time.
The thing is, as well, if Newcastle still up top 4, if by the time you play them, Newcastle could have top 4 still up.
That's what I'm saying.
They
on the beach, man.
Yeah, that's what you want. You just want Man City will have the League One.
Second or third, and top 4 compete. So that can help as well. So you could go both ways. Arsenal, by then, City would have won the league. Arsenal would have been second or third. Potts would have been crying about Arteta. So Dave, the Arsenal game, you shouldn't write that off as well. You shouldn't.
Everyone could be on the beach for you, Joe. Bournemouth are a beach. That's
the funniest thing he's said in about a year. That's brilliant.
Oh, come on, listen. I absolutely murdered Potts earlier, and it was the best.
Potsy, write that gag down. Lawless, genuinely funny. Just write that down, mate.
Hey, let's not go that far. Let's not go that far. Dave, I can't lie, man. You're getting noticed now. You're on TV now. You're getting interviewed with
like dog shit, mate. I get everywhere.
You and Dor getting interviewed and all this. Like, oh man, it's famous times for Forest. You were incredible by the sounds of things, mate.
Eventually, mate. Yeah, we were. We weren't to start with. I mean, we had a penalty that Brennan had saved. We had a couple of other chances, and then we sort of didn't react very well to the penalty save. And then for about 20, 25 minutes, it was like Brighton took the piss out of Forest. We couldn't get the ball off them. We tried to press, we tried to stand off, whatever worked. Brighton just kept the ball. And then all of a sudden, about, a couple of minutes before half time, we got a break. The first break we've had for quite a while, where we had this kind of attack out of nowhere. Loddy's put the ball in. He's hit Pascal Gross on the leg. It's taken a deflection. Jason Steele can't keep it out. It's in the back of the net. And we're all like going into half time thinking, bloody hell, we didn't deserve that. Where's that come from? And then what happened second half was Brighton had a break where Buonanotte put Mitoma in, and Mitoma put the ball wide. And from that point on, Forest just took over, just completely took over. And I thought, what you have to remember is that the facts are we are still deep in the mire, right? And I'm never going to come on here and give any chest about Forest being out of trouble at all. I'm never, ever going to sell Nottingham Forest to be more than what they are, which is 17th in the Premier League. I can't do that. Because if I come on here giving it big licks, I'll fall flat on the arse. And I'm not going to do that.
Take note, D and Lawless. Just take note.
You know what I mean? I will not do it. I could come on here and go, my club's, I could come on here and say, we've won 2 European Cup But fuck me, it was back in the Jurassic era, and it is utterly
Paul.
irrelevant,
Yeah.
right? You know what I mean? Utterly irrelevant.
Yeah.
So the way I look at it is, and what happened last night at the end of the match, right? We were all elated. Everybody was really, really happy. It was more relief than anything because we hadn't won for 11. And actually, we for a lot part of that run, couldn't see where a win was coming from. You know what I mean? So we never got ahead of ourselves. Now, what's happened in the past is that Cooper, after a big win, has gone round the City ground and given it fist bumps to each side of the ground. He did nothing of the sort last night. He walked off dead quiet. He shook hands with everybody, put his arm around our players and walked off. There was no triumphalism from Nottingham Forest whatsoever. We are still banging it. We are the ones who really should be bottom and adrift, given the 30 signings, given the injuries and all the chaos that's been caused off the field by people sticking their fingers in where they shouldn't, right? But, you know, somehow we're still in it. I mean, and last night, there were 40 minutes added on at the end of that game last night because Nico Williams.
Yeah, is he all right, Dave?
No, he's not. He's finished for the season, Joe. What happened was Loddy put a ball in. He got to the byline. He pulled it right across in front of me at the Trent end. And as the ball's gone to the far post, Brennan's come in. And as he's like gone to volley the ball, Nico's gone to dive and head it in. And basically, Brennan has booted Nico in the face, right? So there was blood coming out of his mouth and all sorts.
Yeah, he was in a bad way, man.
He is in a bad way, yeah. So he's had his jaw smashed. And so he's out for the rest of the season. Anyway, the game was held up. Then obviously the substitutions. So by the time they added 10 minutes on, but then that got held up. So 14 minutes. But what was really good was, and I have to have the caveat that Brighton were leggy second half. They were excellent first half. And then I think second half they were leggy and Forest just out battled them. Forest wanted it more second half. So there is that caveat that Brighton were wilting, you know what I mean? So it isn't perfect by any stretch of the imagination. But what I will say is that we just scored 5 goals in 2 games, which is like unlike us. We went to Anfield, right? And strange as it may seem, and I said, I think on this show last week, that we would definitely get hammered at Anfield. And all of the Forest fan base thought we'd get obliterated at Anfield. We got beat, but we didn't get obliterated. In fact, we hit the bar when it was 3-2. We had a one-year had an overhead kick that was just over the bar. We walked out of Anfield off 19% possession, thinking, shit, you know, we could have got something there. And we if we could have defended set pieces, which we were truly appalling at Anfield, we'd have got something there. Which if Forest had come out of Anfield, the point, he was like, bloody hell, fight, give an hour away record. And what happened was the good vibes from that defeat were taken into last night. And the way that Forest that's the first game in Nottingham Forest where we scored 3 goals this season in a match. It's the first time Forest have been behind and come back to win. And you know, it was just a fantastic night. The way I look at the run-in is that this Brentford, Southampton, Chelsea, Arsenal, Palace run-in may yet, with the passage of time, become a little less daunting than it might have looked a few weeks ago. Like Brentford. I mean, Brentford are excellent, but they're not unbeatable. And
they haven't been great recently either.
No, that's Joe. That's right. That was their first win in 7. So they're kind of a bit on the beach. Southampton, I mean, they are going to be desperate. I think that's our hardest game of the ones that are left because Southampton are going to be desperate. The only thing for Southampton, I believe James Ward-Prowse got injured tonight. So that's their talisman gone, you know, which is a massive blow to them. Then we play Chelsea, who are like, goodness me, they're like a bunch of old women at a jumble sale. They're pathetic, Chelsea, right? You know, I mean, that is all money and no football knowledge there. What does that Bowley know about football? Get him out. You know, this idea that wealth gives you intelligence and intellect is nonsense, right? You know, so many of these owners have got so much money and they've never ever made a tackle or a header or volleyed a ball.
They spent 160 million to be in a relegation battle.
You know what I mean? So Chelsea, I actually think we could get something at Stamford Bridge. Now then, it's Arsenal at home. Now, Arsenal, who knows? You know, I think the title's over, right? I think last night showed you the gulf between the best team in the league and the rest. I think last night, it didn't matter who City would have beaten anybody on the planet last night. De Bruyne was awesome. Haaland, awesome. Grealish running back to like tackle Saka. They were brilliant, City. They're the best team on the planet, right? Now, Arsenal come to us. They could be thinking, well, you know, we're safe in top 4. We can't get the league. You know, they're in a limit.
Mate,
And then
they were lucky
Palace,
to get a draw against Southampton. I really wouldn't.
They were, yeah.
They should have lost that game.
Were. Although the other way to look at that is that when it went to 3-1, I watched that game. I think I watched the last half an hour of that game. So I was on a bloody 2 Liverpool shows on Friday, right? And I watched it and I thought, they're never going to come back from this. And then they did actually manage to.
I think it was down to Southampton, though. I think they.
Well, Southampton, to be fair, Lawless, Southampton sat. Rather than going for the jugular, Southampton thought, right, we're all right now. And they I think they invited Arsenal back onto it. Yeah. I think Arsenal's biggest problem is the lack of Saliba. I think he's been fantastic for them. They've really missed it.
I'm telling you, with your fans, mate, and with their away form, I wouldn't rule you out at all from.
Do you know what, mate? Lawless, that's a brilliant point. I tell you what, the City ground last night was unbelievable.
Yeah,
Second, do you know when we went a goal down? And this is where we might be one of the 3 or 4 worst teams in it. We might end up being in the bottom 3 and going down. But our supporters have been absolutely out of this world. Right?
Your home form has been amazing. It saved you, and your crowd is a massive part of that, Dave.
Oh, mate! I tell you what, lads. It's feral. Even the Trenton, which is not where I sit, it's normally quite sedate. They were all up last night, and they were like when Nico Williams was being treated, they were giving Jason Steele some right stick. There's a bloke in front of me telling him, "Hey, you, what you laughing at? What you laughing at, Steele?" And like really getting at him. And Brighton Dunk in the second half ended up looking. He did the best impression of Harry Maguire I've seen for a long, long time. Right? And we didn't get a hand, but we should have had a hand. We should have had a handball against Harry Maguire a couple of weeks ago. We didn't get it. What Dunk was doing last night, Dunk actually, he's well named because he should have been playing bloody basketball.
Most overrated and half.
Yeah,
so overrated.
And so all I'll say about last night is that I did hear one of the best chants from an away team at our place when we were singing "Champions of Europe." You'll never sing that at Brighton, and they came back with "Champions of Sussex." You'll never sing that, which I thought was really funny. You know what I mean? Absolutely brilliant. So. But the way we look at it is that we've just beaten a team that is, up in the top half. I think it's our best win of the season, actually. Now, what it does, if we...
I was stunned by that result. I thought Brighton would have been, after going out, obviously it's a good time to play them because their confidence is down after losing the cup. But I actually thought like Brighton would be, they're the sort of team this season. Been so good, so hard to beat home and away. So yeah, it was a good result, man. It was good.
I reckon Brighton are going to drop like a stone, though. To be honest with you,
imagine.
They're running.
They get nothing out of it. They just finished 8th or like 9th. That's the best ever season. No European football, as they're saying. None of the Deserby nonsense. Tactical. He presses. He allows players to press him, and he's a revolutionary. None of that nonsense.
D, imagine if Brighton and Palace do that. Can you imagine, D?
He imagines it all the time.
Yeah, I mean, it will happen. They've only had 2 good seasons. We've always finished above them.
Yeah,
but yeah,
going back to Forest, Potsy, going back to Forest, it was where we came from in that game last night because what happened was that we missed the penalty, and then Navas basically just parried the ball straight to Buonanotte, and we were all sat there thinking, "Oh shit, here we go again." The run continues. We're not good enough to kind of change the run. And then all of a sudden, we got this break with this own goal, and it could be such a crucial moment. If there's a confluence of things this week. So that goal we scored against Brighton to change the game, Bamford missing an absolute sitter, Vardy scoring, and the results tonight. I've wanted Cherries and Newcastle to win tonight. That's what I've wanted. So I just feel this week is the first week with us where we've done our bit by beating Brighton, and we've earned a little bit of luck that goes around it. Do you know what I'm saying? And I actually think it will come down to a straight shootout between Leeds and Forest to join Everton and Southampton. I think.
That's what I think.
And Leicester, you're right about Leicester. I'm not massively into Dean Smith. I know he did good stuff for Villa and he was decent at Brighton, but I just, it's a difficult. I just think he's holding the fort. But they've got Maddison. Vardy looked really sharp for the first time in ages the other night. They've got
Maddison looked good as well, I thought.
He's quality.
Yeah.
He's brilliant.
Look what Dean Smith did with Jack Grealish, though. If he can get Maddison to turn out to be half the player.
What was that? Like just carry the ball and get fouled? Is that,
Yeah.
is that what it is? Yeah.
Do you know what? That Dean Smith.
I think
right?
that's what it was, though, wasn't it? Carry the ball for a bit, foul. Oh, get the balls in the box for Mings. I think that was it. Right?
He was one of the biggest factors in turning Villa into a diving team. He encouraged it. He absolutely, because it wasn't just Grealish.
He was the
it
most
the whole
fouled
team.
player in the league, weren't he? I mean,
But
he
Matt,
still
he
is.
still is,
isn't
isn't he?
Yeah.
He still is, isn't he? I'm sure Jack's still top of that.
Yeah,
Most fouled.
He's always.
I thought it was Saka. I thought Saka was the most fouled.
Saka's
it's
normally
Zaha.
Zaha, Saka.
Okay,
and
hold on.
Grealish,
Let me stop you there.
Ben
Show me
Rama.
one Zaha dive. Show me one. Because
Oh,
everyone
Zaha's the worst.
mate.
I have never
Show
seen
me
a
one.
player.
Show me one.
Wait,
Show me
D.
one. Show me one.
I have never seen a player look like he dislikes playing football more than him. Like every
So
game,
true. So
every
true.
game he's bitching and moaning. It's like, smile. What's wrong with you?
He won a
Who's that,
free
Joe?
kick. He won a free kick against Villa and got booked for dissent. How does that happen?
Who's that?
Because of Patrick Vieira.
Zaha.
I would get the same as well.
Will. He took one of the best penalties I've ever seen at the City Ground. Absolutely fine. What was funny about that, the Palace Ultras were in the away end, all dressed in black. They looked like they'd come from like Bulgaria or something. And there were flares, and it was like, bloody hell, I thought, we're at an Italian derby here. And then Wilf come up and took his penalty. He took his penalty at the Trent end, hit the post, and the Ultras and Palace just disappeared after that. It was the funniest thing.
I think
When they
Zaha.
went.
I
It was
agree
an
with
awful
Yusuf.
game,
Zaha's
Dave.
sick
It was
of
an
Palace,
awful
man.
game. It was
It
under
is.
Vieira. It was an awful
It
game.
was.
We had no shots on target. We had no
No.
shots on target. Like, it was unbelievable. And that
One
was
of
on
the
Patrick
7
Vieira.
games in
Now
a
that-
row, wasn't it?
Yeah. And I'll be honest. Zaha,
He's
Vieira's staying.
going, man, in the summer. Ain't Zaha
No, he's
leaving?
not. No, he's not. He's not.
He's got him a contract, haven't he?
There's a
Try,
big chance that he
try
stays.
and hold on to that.
No, literally.
Try to hold
There's a
on.
big chance he stays. There's Monaco and all the other clubs, they're interested in him, but Palace are willing to offer 200k a week. And he
He'll
wants
stay with
before he signs.
Roy Hodgson's here now. He'll stay. He sees a bright future.
Oh, trust me, you Fox, I don't know about you in particular, but Arsenal fans were twerking for Zaha.
I like Zaha, man. I like Zaha.
Yeah, exactly. You were twerking for
D,
Zaha.
Quality player.
D, how old is he?
30.
He's like 30 now.
You want to pay him 200 grand a week?
It's only 70k more than what he gets now. And the cost
Only?
of replacing him is more.
That's crazy, man.
Yeah.
Only okay, you could get another player for that.
He's not a 200 grand a week player.
No, is he?
He has to get replaced.
Not that age either.
If he is, Elise and Eze certainly are. They're much better than him at the moment. I think.
Well,
They're
they
quality,
understand
those
his
two.
role. Like he's helped us over the years. Like
200 grand a week for Zaha, bro, at Crystal Palace. That's crazy.
No, but we're letting go of players. It's not going to be like, it's not going to, so we let go of fringe players that's getting a lot of money, like Luka Milivojevic and like James Hong. Like, we're letting go of these players that are getting good amount of money. So it's not going to really cost us anything.
But if you want to bring in
better
quality,
replacements.
Yeah, go get replacements. Yeah,
the thing is, if you're trying to bring in quality players, they're going to look at it and see, well, Zaha's on 200 grand a week.
And he's 30, man.
Yeah, so that's going to hurt your
because Zaha,
negotiation.
it's not like a normal player to Palace. Like you would know that. You would know why Zaha's getting that.
Why
much
would
money.
you? Why would you give a shit if you're some player from another country? Like it's no, you want me to play for Palace?
Bro, I don't think that'll be a problem, man. Other players,
It's not. It's no one's dream to play for Palace, is it?
The Premier League, the Premier League, you always get more money. So players coming from other countries. What did he say? Hold on. What did he say? Wait. I think he said something, but I didn't hear. What did he say? What did he say?
What?
You said something. What did he say?
I said it's nobody's dream to play for Palace.
You spent £100 million on a bag of shit, and you're here talking about no one to spend on Palace. Who wants to play for West Ham? You was fighting relegation all season long while spending one of the most amount of money. Let's move on from that, anyways.
Let's not talk about your shit academy, by the way.
Zaha, I really like Zaha. He averages 7 goals a season, so like 200k is quite a lot.
All right. Oh,
no, he does.
Quiet.
He does.
You have Zaha in your team. You want Zaha.
No, he does average. I've just worked it out. I just looked at his stats, bro. He's at 7 goals a season.
Yeah,
he averages.
because he was playing under negative managers, and look at the squad that we had. Look at the squads that we had under Zaha. It was literally only Zaha, no one else.
He scored 10 in one season, 14 last season, but he scored 7 normally on average. That's what 7 goals.
All right,
so that's a lot of money. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying he's shit. Just saying it's a lot of money. That's all I'm saying.
Want him at Arsenal?
I always liked him. I would have had him as part of the squad at Arsenal. Yeah, he's not going to get the first team, but yeah, he'll be a squad player. He's not going to get ahead of Saka or Martinelli, but He's all right.
So what's the point then? Well, you're going to pay him 200 quid to sit behind two players.
What are you talking about?
Why would you
or
have him?
me?
No, you. Why would you have?
No.
him?
I like him as a squad player. Yeah, I wouldn't want to pay him 200k a week though. No.
Well, then why say you like him as a squad player then?
Who says he's going to get 200k a week though?
What?
Is that what he's asking for?
You think Arsenal are going to pay him?
You think Arsenal are going to pay him 200k a week? No, they're not. We're not going to get him.
Signed him.
Huh?
You signed him, you would. Well, you
No,
think he's going to come there to sit on the... You're not being realistic, plus.
I don't think he will. I don't think we will sign him, but I would take him as a squad player, but not for that much money. Yeah.
Only Palace will pay that much money. But anyways, what the
But that's silly though. Saying that though's mad. You're saying that the only club.
We're offering that, but let me tell you what he wants.
It's
not only the money, because he can go Saudi Arabia. He's had offers from Saudi, so he can go there and get all the money he wants. He doesn't want to go there. He said, the reports are suggesting, latest reports, that he wants Palace to confirm that our ambitions are to get into Europe. So that's
as long as you pay him £200,000 a week.
With all due respect, that's not going to happen within the next 3 years. By the time he's 33, he's going to be gone.
So who are you going to get past in the top? Name who you're overtaking in the top 7 within the next 3 years.
We don't know what's going to happen next season. We didn't expect certain teams to be up there this season, let alone like at the start of this season. We didn't expect Villa to be up there. We don't know what's going to happen next season.
Man, what top 7?
You pay him from winning. It could be from winning a trophy to get into. Hold up, Lawless, you're laughing like you won something. The last time you won a trophy, it was in 1999. Like, why are you laughing? Like,
well, what about Joe? When's the last time? Why are you coming for me? When's the last time?
No, because you're laughing. Because you always do this. You always
Joe
do this.
just laughed.
You are not a big.
But you're not going to though. You're not going to.
Man.
Hold up. We've had a bigger chance of winning a proper trophy than the likes of West Ham or Leeds in the past 5 to 10. In the past.
Yeah, but you don't have anything for it though.
You've never won one.
So by that then, hang on. By that though, shouldn't Potsy say to you, we've had a better chance of winning the league than you though?
Thank you, Joe.
But I'm not going with that agenda. When do you ever hear me
what do you mean?
What agenda? No. But my point is, Leeds and West Ham are laughing, but we've had a better chance of winning a trophy than them.
But you haven't won one ever in the whole history.
Okay. You want the Intertoto Cup? What the flip is Intertoto Cup?
Something that you've never got. It's a European trophy that you've never won.
We got Zenith Data Cup.
What the fuck is that? What the fuck is
just add the Hong Kong Super Sevens to this conversation as well.
Some dodgy phone network man from fucking Far East. ZF Data. Have you got one of them gift cards? Nah, I'm on the ZF Data, bro.
My point is, you lot are laughing like you lot have trophies in recent years. You haven't. Right?
Dean, you're not.
We was in a
You're
European
not going to be
semi-final
playing Europe with Zaha in the next 3 years. And by the time he's 33, he's going to be gone. His legs are going to be gone. He's not going to be that same player.
I just think realistically, right? So if you look at what, and this is honestly, right? How much do you reckon you're paying Eze and Elise?
I can get
for the price they're getting a wage, exactly 20, 30, 40, 50 tops. The price you could get.
Probably like
I'm serious. From the Championship.
50 to 100k. Elise had a release.
Wild, bro. There's no way Elise is getting 50 to 100k. You aren't. There's no way you're picking him from the Championship and giving him £50,000. I'm not having it.
Still giving improved terms once these players actually perform at this level, which you would give them to keep them at the club. So it's not.
I think if you're paying Elise anywhere upwards of 70k, it's mad. That is mad for me. That is mad spending. Our highest earner's on 100k, and that's Rodrigo. Before that, Calvin Phillips was on about 40. So there is no way that you are paying Elise between 50 to 100
transfer
grand
fees,
a
though.
week.
We don't. We got Elise for £8 million, so we can afford to give that much. But anyways, let's say 50 grand. Even 50 grand, that's normal for Elise. That's normal.
I'm just
That's
saying,
fair.
if you break your wage structure for Zaha, giving 200 grand a week, that's going to affect your ability to progress.
We're not breaking our wage structure. That's what I'm saying. We're not breaking it. If we're getting rid of players, that just amounts to that.
Yeah,
amount of
and
money
then you
that
bring in
can't
new
contribute
players,
at
you have
all.
to pay them big money as well. You can't. It's just ridiculous.
Mate,
But it
Edouard's
shouldn't-
on 94k and Klein's on 80k a week.
Edward is on
90
90.
K a week.
How much
Bro.
is Klein on?
I don't know where you're getting your sources from, but
Nah,
that's actually
Capology, bro.
ridiculous.
Capology's bang on the money. Eze's on 30k, bro. Eze's on 30k. Elise is on 45.
Daniel Klein is on
Zaha's-
80k.
Klein's on 80k. Edouard 90. Joachim Anderson 80. Guaita
Klein
75.
is not on 80k. I can tell you right now, Klein is not on 80k.
Mate, it's been
Do you know what?
confirmed. It's got the tick from
Eight-
Capology.
Oh my
It's got the
D.
tick from Capology.
D, do you know
Do
why
you
I don't
realise-
believe you, D? Because after our preview, some Palace fan told me that Zaha isn't back on Sunday. He's back in training, but he's a doubt for the game Saturday. You acted like he was back and ready to play on Saturday, like he was going to be playing.
Smokes, when he scores 2 passes, we'll see.
But when he
We'll see.
scores, he's
back.
probably not even going to be.
Yeah.
He's probably not even going to be playing.
He's back, man. He's back, man. He's
See
back.
what I mean? We can't trust this guy. Now we're supposed to believe you on wages. I believe Joe, man. I believe. Was it Apologetics or whatever the fuck? You know what I mean?
Hold on, we should trust you. You're the same person. You're the same person who was giving all that mouth about you're going to be with the elite clubs and stuff, and you know you're going to finish above United and all that. But how can we trust you? You thought you was going to finish above Man United. You're closer to the relegation zone than you've ever been to Man United all season long.
It was
The
one,
only time
it
he
was
close
one
to-
point off
the
them
only
last
time he was
season.
Okay, the only time he was above Man United this season was when the season didn't start, or when the season started. I can't around them periods. Like that's the only time you've ever been
You
close
don't
to
even
Man
know
United.
alphabet. You know what I mean?
That's the only time you've been close to Man
What are you
United.
talking
That's
about?
the only time you've been close to Man United. Other than that, you've never been close to Man United. What you need to realize here, Lawless, is that you're not a big club. Put that in your head.
Oh,
You're not
here
a
we
big club.
go.
Once
Look
you're
at
out of the
this
Conference
guy.
League, you're the same level as Palace, as all these teams. You know, as the likes of Fulham and as a Forest. You're just not a big club. You just had a good season or two. That's it.
Forest,
could
that
probably-
is it, right?
You could probably just about fill our stadium with your entire fan base, right? That's how small a club Palace is.
Quiet, be quiet.
You
What
know
are you
what I
talking
mean?
about fan bases? You have one of the most toxic fan bases out there. I'm so happy about your fan base. You literally cry about Moyes out. Oh, Moyes, I want to go. You know,
We
what
literally-
All you do is cry. All you do is cry at that stadium. You've never had joy in that
Oh,
stadium.
said you was
you
crying
never
about
had
Vieira. Oh, Vieira, they sacked Vieira. Oh, I love Hodgson now. Oh, flip flop.
I
respect Hodgson.
Yeah, that's you.
No, I respect Hodgson to the end of the season because he's a gentleman. He's only doing this because he loves Palace.
He's
and I
a
want him to leave
gentleman.
on-
He's a
Yeah.
gentleman. What if he was getting beat?
yeah.
What if he was getting beat? Leave him. He's a gentleman. He's a gentleman.
Nah, he's not getting beat. He's a gentleman. And also, Hodgson is giving credit to Vieira. He's giving credit to Vieira. He's giving credit to like, the players. Yeah.
the fuck does that mean? Who
He's
gives
a
a
realist.
shit?
He's a realist.
What,
He's a
he
realist.
gave credit?
Hodgson
Wow.
will go to that West Ham
Wow.
side. Be quiet, man. Be
Wow.
quiet. Hodgson
Give credit.
Hodgson would take over from West Ham. You're not getting the likes of Poch and all them other nonsense that you spouted all season long. The most you're getting is Scott Parker or Mark Noble. Get that in your head. You want Moyes gone. Moyes is going to be gone and you're going to be in the mud because
We're
Moyes
gonna-
is the
we-
best
we
thing
can
that's
attract-
ever
yeah,
happened in the past 20 years. Remember that. Moyes is the best thing that's ever happened to you in the past 20 years. Keep
Yeah,
that in your mind.
who's the best thing that's ever happened to you? Fucking no one. Zaha.
Terry Venables.
Yeah, well, what's
Terry
bad about that?
Venables.
No, let's not talk
Oh, yeah.
about
All
Terry Venables.
Zaha's got to show for his time at
Vince
fucking
Hilaire.
Palace is a big 200k contract. Yeah, that's it. Fat
Which
contract.
he hasn't got yet. Which he hasn't got yet. Which he hasn't got
The
yet.
failed
That's
spell
what
at Man
he hasn't got yet.
United.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Jacking Moyes' daughter. Like, that's it. That's all he's done in his life. So,
Listen, man, we got to wrap
man.
this up. It's
Sorry,
getting late,
man, sorry,
and you two are going to be going at it for another 2 hours.
This has given me lots of confidence for our
You
visit
better
to
stay in
Palace
Europe.
last game of the
I don't
season.
want to see you back on these shows, Lawless. I really don't, because I can't deal with this. You're the most deluded West Ham fan out there. You think
Have you considered, D, have you rung the Samaritans, mate? They're ever so good, honestly. They really are.
listen,
The Samaritans to ring, mate.
By the way,
Yeah,
Pots,
fantastic.
why ain't
If you
Lewis
need
on this
counselling,
show?
mate, I'm here for you, mate. We can meet up at Sellers Park on May the 28th. I'll put you, Uncle Dave will put his arm round you, and then we'll watch
I'm
Forest
relaxed. It's just
obliterate
Lawless
Palace.
that amps me up.
Yeah,
I'm relaxed.
obliterate
I'm
them.
relaxed. I'm literally
We're all
relaxed.
gonna do it.
I'm
We're all
relaxed.
gonna obliterate Palace, right? Everyone's playing. We're all gonna smack them towards the end of the season. But Pot, seriously, why ain't Lewis on this show?
Well, you're lucky if Lewis can get onto the Race for Europe show. Bless him, he's hardly ever about.
Yeah, it just makes me laugh. Like they're not in a race for Europe. People have been caught chatting
Next
my
season,
name all season.
you know what's mad? Next season, he won't even be on the show. It'll be Billy. That's crazy, man. That's going to be interesting. Who's going to be on this show and who's going to be on next show?
What
That's
the
what I
fuck
want
are you
to know.
talking about? We're literally in a European
You're
semi-final.
not in the race for Europe. You're in a European
you're in a
trophy, but
race.
you're not actually in a like.
Well,
You're not,
guess
man.
what? If we
You're
win
not.
that trophy, guess what we get? Guess what we get if we win that trophy? Have a guess. Just a guess.
If stop saying ifs. You haven't won it. Yes, ifs.
Yeah, but we're in the race.
You haven't won it.
We're in the race. That's the race.
What do you get? Lawless, what do you get for winning it? What do you actually get for winning it?
Europa League.
A certificate?
Yeah, you get a gold medal.
Have you seen the trophy? It's beautiful.
Well done.
Yeah.
But does it give you qualification for a higher tournament?
Europa
or anything
League,
like that?
yeah, Europa League.
All right.
Get in the Europa League.
I
It's
hope for
amazing.
your sake you win it. I hope for your
So
sake. you win it.
Thursday night at like 5:45 in Azerbaijan, then something like that.
That's the one.
Dave, that is the dream. That is the dream.
I'd rather play Nuneaton Borough or Kidderminster Harriers than go to Azerbaijan.
I just want these weird away days.
I'd rather
Bill,
play
Cheap
Dagenham
fights
and
with
Redbridge.
Barcelona.
Bill, you love it, mate.
Give me Wrexham over Azerbaijan on a Thursday night.
You just want an autograph.
If I
That's
can
what you
see
want.
Ryan Reynolds in the flesh, then
Hold on,
absolutely,
hold on.
slap your hands
Do you understand
up.
how Timper? Do you understand how Timper?
Do you know what, Billy? He saw me on ITV with Dore last night. He's been sending me messages, Ryan Reynolds. Do you know what I mean?
I'm not surprised.
Listen, you can't beat a European away day.
Hold
That's,
up. Do you
that's
know how
what.
Timper?
I agree.
Do you know how Timper is, Lawless? The final is at an 18k stadium. You might as well go to Bournemouth.
That's facts.
11k.
That is facts.
Like, what type
Listen,
of final is
don't
at
worry
an
about
18K?
that.
Yeah.
Listen,
Yeah, we know this
Look.
job is important, and you're not going to win it. You're not going to win it as well. We know that.
listen, D, right? Don't worry. European away days are coming to you very soon, yeah? Cardiff, Swansea, don't worry.
You're giving all
Wrexham.
this chat like you ain't know us.
Yeah.
You're giving all this chat like
St.
you ain't know
Helier
us.
Town.
The only thing that Lawless will have though next season, right? And I will say, like, whatever happens, whether they win it or they don't win it, right? If they win it, he'll be able to chat. If they don't win it, he won't be able to chat. But he will be able to take the piss out of whoever does come 7th, because it's going to be Spurs maybe, or potentially Liverpool maybe, depending on what's happening around it. And then he will be able to have a laugh. Like, it ain't going to be Chelsea now.
That's why I need Villa to pick up, because I need Spurs to finish 7th. I need to see
You need to win the Conference League. Forget about.
Yeah, we'll
what
do
they
that.
do.
We'll
You
do
need to
that.
win the
Don't
Conference
worry
League before
about
any
that.
of them.
Don't worry.
Before anything else.
You need
else.
to,
And I hope-
you know what I mean?
Ah.
You need
Yeah,
to
you
win
need
an
to
egg
beat
and
us
spoon
first.
race before you even chat to me,
Yeah,
mate.
remember, you're below us. Talk to us
Lawless,
back,
who's
you're
in the
below
other
us,
half
you're
of that
below
draw, mate? I know it's Alkmaar in the semi-final. And who is it? Roma and somebody else who will say
Basel,
Fiorentina and Basel.
So you'd imagine
I
a
can't
West
wait.
Ham
I
Fiorentina
can't wait.
final, then something like that.
It'll be a,
That's the most likely, isn't it?
it'll be a Fiorentina win for the whole cup, I reckon.
I'm gonna come on
Oh,
this
no,
show
yeah.
for my coronation end of the season. Everyone can clap me. Yeah, everyone
You're
can.
coming. You're coming on the show regardless.
I'm gonna do my
Whether it's
victory
don't-
lap
don't
on
worry
all the
about that, you're
shows.
coming on the show.
Victory
You're
lap.
coming on the show. You're coming on the show regardless. Like West Ham, your best ever season. Cool. You're not gonna win anything. Just know that as well.
Beautiful, man. I might
Right. Let's wrap this up.
When is that game, Lawless? Is it next week?
7th of June. Oh, the final. The film in the final.
You gotta get to the
11th of
final
May.
first, bro. You gotta get
This
to
guy
the
talking
final
about the
first.
final, like they're in it. Like just
11th of May. 11th of May.
Let's see
Look
what
at
happens.
everyone wants to know. Everyone's got their eyes on it, man. Everyone's got their eyes on it.
Let's see what
See
happens.
you
Apart
feel
from you, we
flat
just
on
want
your
to cook
face.
you. Yeah, we just want to cook you. We don't
What
care
the-
about the conference.
Well, then
No
you
one
care,
cares about
don't
the
you? Then you care. By default, you care.
conference. Only for your sake. We don't care.
But
about
you
West
still
Ham
care.
sake.
Of course you care.
West Ham is not. Yeah, nah, man.
Then
We
you
don't
care.
care, man. We just want to cook
Well,
you. We just want to cook
Well, then you care, don't you? If you want to, then you care. Facts.
Right, man. Let's wrap this up. Big up Dave. Big up Lawless. Big up Joe. Big up D. Big up
see you,
Billy.
lads.
Obviously, big up Emilio as well. And big up Sam for coming on as well from the ground, and well done to
Yeah,
Bournemouth
top
tonight.
Yeah.
We're going to see you next week. We'll be back very, very soon, sooner than ever, actually, in a few days' time. Make sure you subscribe if you're new, please. Make sure you like. Make sure you go and follow all these guys and their content that they do as well. We will see you next time. Until then, up the Arsenal.
No, say up there. You can't say it. No.
Arsenal. No.